So today we're going to do this a trial video, and I'm doing it with my earbud. I have heard the complaints, especially it seems from X and from YouTube, that my volume is way too low. I've worked on it. I listen to the 5 channels that I'm on, and I have no problem with the volume. So I don't know why when I go to X and YouTube and watch my videos, the volume's fine, but it's not for anybody else. But there are certainly enough people complaining that I'm going to try this today. So I'm going to try 1 today, and if that doesn't work, I'm going to try 2 tomorrow and see if I can get that to work. And thank you for offering to buy me a mic, but I have a Blue Yeti, but it's on my computer, and of course it's a USB, and I'm doing this on my iPad. Because I can't upload the backgrounds anymore on my iPhone, which did not seem to have problem, okay? So, what do we want to talk about today? So we made a bunch of videos recently, on what's happening in the Caucasus and so forth, and a lot of feedback from Russian commentators, especially on X. I will only say this. It's not about Russia Empire or the American Empire. I believe they're both pulling back. My question is where do they pull back to, okay? Now, if you notice what's going on, and by the way, thank you. I forget who corrected my pronunciation, which you should. It's Azerbaijan is now gave $2 billion in aid to the Ukraine, and is sending them military stuff. They're going to buy weapons from the United States. So my only point is Azerbaijan is not part of the Soviet, whatever you want to call it, satellites, okay? There's no way. And they've been condemned by Russia. Commentators think they should attack them, and Iran is very upset. So it's only a data point to me. The data point is this: does the Ukrainian war limit Russians' ability to respond to these other states pulling out of their orbit? That's it. And to me, one of the key ones is Azerbaijan, and they pulled out. They're gone, all right? Armenia has pulled out, and that leaves Georgia, which is under the gun right now, all right? The next thing I like to talk about is on the chips. I said that I believe that Trump is going to be selling, okay, a grand bargain with China, and the grand bargain will be that we're going to give them H100 HBM chips for unfettered, I repeat that, unfettered access to rare earth minerals for a period of time. I think it's going to be 5 to 7 years, because that's what we're going to need to get where we want to go. So I believe the tariffs on China will be lowered. I said to 0. Someone said, I think it'll be 15%. He's probably right. But they're going to come way down. I mean, think about it this way. I mean, we just slapped 50% on India because they're buying Russian oil. But they're the number 2 buyer of Russian oil. Number 1 is China. And we're only tariffing them at 30%, and India basically doesn't send us a lot, okay? So we just want access to their market. So again, I'm just saying, and Trump came out yesterday saying that we're gonna, sell them the high-end chips. But we have to somehow figure out how we can guarantee or ensure or secure that the REM will be sent to us so we can give it to our defense industry. Then the third thing I want to talk about is gold, okay? Now, anybody who knows me and follow me, it's been over 3 years. I'm not a gold bug, I'm a commodity bug. And that includes metals, and that includes lithium, that includes commodities. I think the next big moves, already making big moves, will be in what I put under food, which is fertilizer. I don't think people realize that this is a global system, and without fertilizer, we do not have a modern farming system for the globe. So I think that's going to be next. But on this gold thing, it was pretty amazing what came out, and I'm only commenting on this for one reason and one reason only. People were commenting on why we're tariffing on gold, and then why Trump said he's not going to tariff gold. That's what I want to address. So first we got the announcement that Trump was going to impose a 39% import rate on Switzerland, which is the world leading gold refiner in the world, okay? So that's number one. So we put that on. And then a couple days later, if not a day later, Trump comes out and says, whoa, we're not going to do that right away. We're pulling this back. We're going to wait for the clarification, okay? And so here's my thoughts on this whole thing. When I first saw it, I was kind of taken back. I don't know how to explain this. You know, we have so much information coming in front of us. We talked about how I look at information. But in this case, this was one of those things where I don't know why I had a bad feeling on this. It's almost like hearing the wind chimes and the soft breeze in the morning. You know, what is that, right? Something didn't really, I didn't think this was a good thing for other reason. And the reason is this. Out comes this article saying that it's going to wreak havoc on the COMEX, okay? And so, you know, so you got the gold in Switzerland, physical, and then you have the COMEX. Well, the COMEX is the largest gold derivative market in the world, all right? They dominate between 80 and 90% of total gold futures and options worldwide are traded on the COMEX. So now you got to think about something. You're on the COMEX. The strategies that these institutions employ, that the CTAs employ, they could be long, they could be short, they could be long in America, short over here, they could be short the physical but long the futures. We just don't know. And not only that, it's not like one-to-one. Everyone's trading all around the world. So as I have said many, many times in our videos, especially with the big banks and the big financial institutions, the one thing that we have to worry about is counterparty exposure, okay? Because if we blow up somebody, then it blows up 5 other people, all right? And so then Trump comes out and says, hey, you know, gold will not be tariffed. The only thing I'm trying to say here, and why it's meaningful to us, is everyone knows that the liquidity in our market is off the charts. We talk about this many times. And I've done several videos saying that every market correction is first started with a major negative liquidity event, okay? We won't go into the past. I'm just saying, go watch my videos if you want. And here's the deal. I think the administration realized that they could actually be blowing up the financial system because of that. You're talking the derivative market. It is a complex counterparty exposure, leverage to the hilt market. And if you sit there and say, here, we put on all these contracts, millions of contracts with thousands of people and institutions across the world, and then you're saying to satisfy my contract, when I have to deliver physical, I have to increase the price by 40%. Whoa, okay? That would blow up a lot of institutions, which could affect other institutions through counterparty exposure, which then could lead to things that, you know, we just don't want to consider, all right? So I believe that we dodged a bullet, and I don't know. I haven't seen anyone talk about this, so what do you think in the comments? And give me feedback on whether this earbud works for the mic.